Well, needless to say, I'm always pleased when we win, and I've been really challenging us to try to figure it out defensively and get more just engaged and active. And I thought they tried to do that tonight, especially in the first half. I thought John Newman looked like John Newman again defensively. Got his hands on a lot, and our deflections were better. So you hold somebody under 50, I'm going to be happy. And that's the truth of it. I thought we had a chance to keep them at 45, and they scored 5 on the last 2 possessions. I wasn't happy about that. I got on Odie a little bit because I thought he gave up the 3 in the corner because he kind of froze in help, and then he gave up the split and the ball screen. They lay it in. So I told him, I said, shoot, I'm pissed about the last 5 because I thought we had a chance to hold a team to 45. But hold a team under 50. Our defense got more active for the first time in a long time. That's the stuff I'm pleased with. Breakdowns are more than there, and there's a lot of stuff we got to improve. I think, and I said this on the radio a minute ago, everybody should know this. Those guys in that locker room, we've taken some of these last couple losses really hard. I mean, hard. Harder than I've had teams, and longer than I've had teams take losses, and we're not okay with them. So we've really tried to address some things and work on some things. And at the same time, I've seen our guys lose a little bit of their confidence. I think everybody can see that. Like they're questioning, a little bit, which is part of the growing process. So I don't like the 18 turnovers at all. And give Joe Gallo's done a terrific job at Merrimack, guys. He's been there 8 years. He's built an identity. He's built a big-time program. They won their league a year ago. They couldn't go to the NCAA tournament because they hadn't had enough years in Division I. The team that they beat goes Fairleigh Dickinson and then beats Purdue in the NCAA tournament. I mean, that's how good Merrimack is, and they've been that way year after year. So he's done a hell of a job, and that's the type of zone other coaches study. Like sometimes coaches do things and everybody else wants to try to figure out how. Joe's got a zone that we're all trying to learn, watching it because it's unique, it's effective, and they're like top 10 in the nation in turnover percentage in a zone. So I knew we'd turn the ball over a little bit tonight. They turn everybody over. It's what they're good at doing. 18 turnovers is more than we should turn the ball over against them. So I'm not pleased with that, but we got to get our swagger back a little bit. So tonight it was just about trying to play the next play and letting our guys make some mistakes and find their confidence. I'm glad we finally made a couple 3-point shots. I thought we took good shots and made a couple. But, all in all, am I pleased with how we're playing? I'm not. But I'm glad we got our defense more active. I was pleased that we held a team under 50, and I thought we kind of get that confidence back playing, and I think we will.
Is there a way to fix the confidence situation with this team? Because it's evident that they're not carrying themselves similar to how they did 2 weeks ago, or is it just a matter of you got to get out there and play better, and it comes with the territory?
If I had the magic wand, I'd never have a team that had any confidence problems. I think over 13 years as a head coach, I'd say that our teams have been really confident and played free and loose. I think guys that have played for us would say that. But, again, they've taken the losses hard. We've tried to address some necessary learning and teaching from some of the reasons that, we're not overcoming some of these losses. Like there's issues out there that, we're not trying to shot selection and, all those kind of things that, anybody can watch the TV and go, they shouldn't be doing that. So we're not stupid. So you address them. But then kids are trying to figure it out. These kids care a lot. They're trying. They're listening. And now you can kind of see them a little bit the last couple weeks because they want it so bad. You can see them. And it's just part of the process, and it's just part of the growth process. You guys got to remember they're still kids. Like they're still young people, and they're trying to be great. And this group wants it badly. And so now we got to kind of work through it a little bit. And I thought there was some good moments tonight. I did. I thought Seamoss the last couple games is finding his rhythm back on offense a little bit. It's good to get Jameel just knocking the rust off. Like he's rusty, and you can see it. Like I don't know what he said before I walked in here, but I doubt he doesn't think he played well. But everybody can see the talent. I mean, Day-Day's kind of getting back to himself. I thought Day-Day guarded again tonight for the first time. Like, he was better on the ball defensively. He had that one late, he lets a guy get by him and fouls. But outside of that, I thought he was pretty good. Vic, 8 for 14. I thought he made some nice decisions tonight. I think you saw some things starting to come back. Jizzle's finding his way. So, yeah, it's going to be a process. But in college basketball, it's going to do this a little bit. The good teams do this, but they go like this as they're going up and down. The normal teams do this, but they kind of just keep doing it all year. And the bad teams do this, and they go the other way. So it's going to be up and down a little bit. You just want to keep that line on that bar graph, right, going that way while it goes up and down. And if this team keeps doing that, it's going to be okay.
Is there an update on Aziz and CJ? And in a way, you don't want Aziz hurt, but it was good to get Reynolds the minutes, and he gives you a lot of boards there.
Yeah, you guys look down. It's 11 rebounds, and I don't think he played well, and he doesn't think he played well. And I don't think anybody that watched doesn't see the talent, right? The explosiveness, the hands, the feet, and so he's going to be just fine. That was cool. But now we want Aziz and CJ back out there. I think we're a better team with those guys. I think everybody knows that. The analytics say that. My eyes say that. The players think that. And Aziz, in the first 2 minutes of the Dayton game, he was free under the basket. We threw him a lob, and somebody cracked down and hit him really hard. They did not call a foul, so I don't think everybody understands it. It was a foul, but he jacked his back up bad. And if any of you guys that ever had a back issue, I've had a couple. He's in pain. Hurts to stand up, sit down, all that. We did X-rays. There's no structural issues or anything like that. It's just muscular, but he's in pain. He'll be back. I just don't know if it'll be tomorrow or the next day after. I don't know. So it's kind of a day-by-day thing. And CJ pulled his hamstring in the first half against Dayton and then gutted it out in the second half. It definitely wasn't 100%. And I think with his history, he tore a hamstring I think he completely tore his hamstring at Kentucky his first year and missed the entire season. So with the history of that, our trainer, Bob Mangine, feels really strongly that we got to be cautious. CJ would tell you he could have played tonight. Bob felt like it was the right thing to do. And if there's anything that I'll tell you is that I listen to Bob Mangine and I trust Bob Mangine. So he's got all of our best interest and certainly the players' best interest. So that's why those two didn't play. And it's a day-by-day thing, and they'll be back. I hope they'll be back by Friday.
This team led Florida at the half and was only down 6 at Ohio State. So you kind of saw this coming with their style of play. Yeah, and I think anybody should go look at it. There's a pretty controversial play at the end of the Georgetown game. They had a legit one. They're in a one-possession game at Georgetown and had a legit chance to win. And there's a controversial play. Joe's press conference, he went crazy about it. If you guys want to go research that, so yeah, they've played 3 high major games. Ohio State, it's a game, and I thought Ohio State played well and had a good plan against their zone. They're beating Florida at the half, and then Florida kind of broke away from them in the second half, and then Ohio State, Florida, and then they had a one-possession game with Georgetown with the chance to win in a controversial play at the end. So, I got a lot of respect for Joe Gallo and what he's built, and he's picked to win his league, and he's got a really good chance to do that. There's a good chance you guys will watch this team play in the NCAA tournament. So, do I think we did everything like I want to do? No. Am I excited about how we played tonight? No, but I am pleased that we held them under 50, and anytime you beat a team that's going to play in the tournament, most likely, by double figures, that's a good thing.
2 more.
Vic said one of the main reasons for the response after the Xavier and Dayton losses, the guys who have been here know the expectations for this program. Have you kind of seen the guys that have been here set the tone in practice after those losses?
Yeah, like I said, that the kids want it as bad as you can want it, and the kids that have been here want it as bad as you can want it. There's kids crying in the locker room after the Dayton game, that have been here. And so, it's this isn't a want to type of thing. They can't want it more. They might want it too much. We all might want it too much type of thing. We're trying to learn what it takes as a team, to win on the road or outside of this building against the best teams. And we're trying to build the habits and what we do every day to do that. Like, we got to learn how to defend with the right mentality as a unit for 40 minutes, every single possession. You cannot win on the road in college basketball if you don't have that approach. You cannot win. All right, and so now we're back at home where we're a little more comfortable, but we got to try to build that now. We got to try to build that in practice. So if we get back on the road or as the competition gets better and better, we can't miss an opportunity to work on that. I think our guys are trying to learn what it takes. They can't want it more, but they got to learn what it takes to win. We're learning as a group what it's going to take to win. I hate that we're learning that through losses. I think we're good enough to learn through wins. I'm not making an excuse. But you're going to have to learn. Every group's going to have to learn. And it's not like we got 10 guys in that locker room that played in Final Fours, guys, or won conference championships, right? Like, we got a group that wants to, that has the right mentality. We have talent. We have great kids. They want it. They work at it. But we got to learn as a group what this is going to take. And our returning players are really trying to figure it out because they want to win against the local opponents. They want to win every night. They want to win against the best teams. And we got a lot of big-time games ahead on our schedule.
One more?
Wes, while you're figuring it out and while your kids are figuring it out, how hard is it to establish an identity if that's important to you? An identity starting with defense or something else?
Establishing identity is everything to me. I mean, I don't make excuses. I don't sit up here and make excuses. You guys been around me for 3 years. I'll face the fire and admit when we have wrong, when we have faults. We're not in the excuse business. Nobody wants to hear that crap. Okay, I certainly don't live like that. It's been part of the challenge to creating a real identity is like there's been a lot of changes, and I'm not complaining about them. But, adding Aziz changes the makeup of the team. Everybody, and that's a good problem. Okay, I'm not complaining about it, but it changes the makeup of the team. He's a unique player. There's nobody else on our team that plays defensively and offensively like Aziz. So we got to figure out, and he's a major impact player. So we got to figure out, we didn't have him for however many competitions, I don't know, 6 or something like that. Now we got to adjust, get him involved because we're going to be better with him and then that affects other guys. And so you're adjusting that identity or that plan. And then you add Jamil Reynolds. And he's a major impact player and he's unique. So it's not like, you've been doing all this stuff that worked for Vic, and they're different players. So trying to kind of find this team's identity, whether it's strategically, whether it's like in competition when the chips are down, like it's a process, and it's very important to me. But you don't snap your fingers and it happens overnight. And we've been working at that for two years and change, some of the mentality things. And so, guys like John. And I was upset with John's play defensively in the last game because he understands our defensive identity, and he sets the tone for that for this team. And the minute he gets away from being John Newman, that's going to make us take a step back. Tonight I thought John Newman was John Newman again. I don't care about his line. I mean, John Newman was John Newman on D. And so there are some things that have been established, work ethic and approach every day and a defensive mentality, but this team's still learning how to do that, and we've had a lot of changes, and I'm not making an excuse, but that does create some different challenges than a normal year.
Thanks, Coach.